Hi everyone, Mons here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. This is the first video in the series of my bio, and I think I will open this with my life motto first. Basically, it's the motivation quotes, something that keep me going in a way. And I wanna tell you guys my the quotes that keep me alive until this point in a way. So yeah, this is the motto. As you could read, it says everything happened for a reason. And throughout my life, this this verse has been my biggest motivation, my biggest comfort, my biggest solitude in a way, because it it helps me a lot in you know giving the meaning of life and such stuff. And I'm not really that religious. I mean, I do believe in God and stuff, but yeah, I'm not really that much. And if I could if I could say it in a way, there is much more deeper meaning in this verse for me, and it comes also from my favorite Bible verse. And the verse is from Ecclesiastes, if I pronounce that right. But yeah, it's from that chapter, and specifically on the third one. Um, I will read it to you guys. So the first one say, to everything there's a season and a time to or for every purpose under the heaven. And then that's like the main idea, the main focus on the first, and then the rest is more like explanation about what it was also meant. Um, I will read it again. So basically, the verse between 2 and 8 is saying that there's a time for everything. I'll read it to you guys. So the second verse say, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to pass away, a time to run and a time to sue, a time to keep silence, a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And in my opinion, this whole verse really describes, most of our daily lives. Sometimes there's ups, sometimes there's down. There are sometimes things that makes us happy, sometimes there are things that makes us sad. And just like the weather, there's a season. And that's the whole thing. Like, to everything there is a season, a time, to every purpose under the heaven. And I mean, yeah, in a much more simple way, it's basically just everything happened for a reason, right? That's just the uh, quick word to it. But yeah, every time I feel, you know, the world wave pushing me down, sometimes when I feel I'm not okay, I keep going back to this verse because you know I'm trying to be more positive in a way. I'm trying to see that everything that I did, everything that I say, there's always a meaning behind it. Maybe it's just a wishful thinking, but it what kept me going, honestly. Because because life is hard. It falls it filled with many things. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but the bad days could be really suffocating. But then I come back to this verse. It reminded me that, you know, there is a reason for things to happen. There's no such a thing as pointless. I don't think there is such a thing as pointless. Because, like when we struggle, when we feel pain, we we encounter experiences that we don't want. In a way, it kind of makes us be more appreciative of what we had. Because when you never lose someone, you don't know how to cherish someone. If you don't know how painful it is to get hit, how would you not hit someone? And when you're sad, you know how the feeling of not being sad. And for me, that's what kept me going. The fact that, yeah, the days are bad, the things that I experience filled with pain, but that's okay. And sometimes people forgot that, you know, bad things happen doesn't only mean to teach us something, it's also mean to teach others. Because this is gonna be a long talk, honestly. Just bear with me. But the thing is, I just try to explain to you guys how it felt for me. I mean, we're gonna be happy in the good days. We're going to be smiling, cheering up, glad to be alive. But what happened when the bad days comes? Of course, we're not gonna be that positive. We're not gonna see things clearly. Stuff like this clouded mind, and that's what bring me back to this verse. Honestly, my life has been hard, and sometimes I do complain. I do ask God, like, why? Why must this happen to me? Why must I experience this pain. And I came back to this first. Everything happened for a reason. Because in a way, if you know things just happen because they did, it will be so unfair, honestly. Because just imagine like you being punched by someone, and then if it doesn't mean anything to you, it doesn't mean anything towards the person that hit you, then the action is just pointless. Like there's no meaning to it, there's no reason to it. And that is just it's just upsetting. And I don't like pointless stuff. If something happened, I need a reason for it. I want to know the reason why does it need to happen. Because if it doesn't need to happen, then why does it happen in the first place? But yeah, I mean, maybe some of you get my what I'm trying to say. That's why, as I using the earlier statement, if someone punched me, it hurts. Yes, obviously it will hurt. But if we dig deeper towards a meaning, for me, it may be like, oh, yeah, being punched in the face is painful, so I'm not gonna do that to other person. That's a reason for me. That's a lesson for me. But even if I already learned my lesson, how about the other person that hit me? They also get something probably. Like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe it's not a good thing, or maybe like you know stuff basically. But you get my point. There is action and reaction. There's a reason in everything. There's a meaning in everything. That's why I watch my tone, my words, my action. I try to manage it as much as I could because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I don't want people to mistook my words, my action, because there's a reason for it. I'm just gonna keep talking in circle at some point, but yeah, that's what I meant. So yeah, that's why this this sentence has become my life motto because it's keeping me sane, knowing that all of these things that I've been through eventually, eventually, it will be turn out to be something good. Eventually, I will know the reason why I have to go through all this pain. And that's what I want to say to you guys also. Sometimes we lose hope. Sometimes we couldn't see what's going on. We couldn't see the future. We couldn't see the reason. We couldn't see the meaning why. We will keep asking why. And maybe, just maybe, We couldn't see it now. We couldn't understand it now. But one day, I could assure you guys that we will find the meaning behind everything that had happened before. And sometimes the meaning may be directed to us, but sometimes it's also directed to others. So even if something bad happened, or even if something good does happen, sometimes it's for us to feel, sometimes it's for other people to feel. Even the smallest thing, as you wake up in the morning, breathe the air, that has meaning, It's showing that, you're still alive, you're still breathing, you're consuming the oxygen. I mean, just imagine as if one day, like, the whole world completely stopped breathing, and it just stopped. Everything stopped. And yet, here we are, still alive, still breathing, still here, still fighting, still struggling, still kicking. And I guess that's one of the beauty in life. There's balance in everything. There's a reason for everything. And I hold this really dear into my heart. This what keeps me alive. Knowing that everything that I've been through, one day, one day I will look back and see that, ah, that's why. I guess if you guys know the meme from Sheldon, like the one that he keeps flipping the page, like, why, 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 and then after a while he flips the last page, like, oh, that's why. Yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to say. We couldn't see it now, and it's okay. One day we will see it. That's why don't lose hope. Keep on going, even though it's hard. Well, I guess I yap too much already. But yeah, that's what I feel. And that's my life motto. I mean, I would like to know you guys' motto also. Just comment it down below. I will reply if I could. If I have time to be exact. But yeah, that's all for today. Uh, thank you so much for listening and see you in the next episode. Thank you guys. All the love from me. Bye bye.